Just real quick before the video starts, there's something important I wanted to tell you after the video ends. So just be sure once after you stick around for the ending after this video is over, because I got something important to tell you guys. So yeah, other than that, let's get right into this game. Let's go ahead and finish it. Alright, this is what will lead to the other ending. If when I call Ryoko, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, let's go ahead and do this. Oh. The ringing of her cell phone interrupts Ryoko's labors. When she sees that the caller is Tono Koji, she unwittingly breathes a sigh of relief. This is Tanbo. What is it? I've searched from Nori's house. Even over the phone, Ryoko can hear the change in Koji's tone. His is the dull, flat voice of someone who has had all the energy beaten out of him. For Nori has murdered people. He's killed too many people to count, and he's eating them. His first steps into Ryoko's world have already brought him face to face with something particularly gruesome. In consideration for his probable state of mind, she decides to say nothing. Omi is dead, Koji continues. Tsukuba, too, probably. Doctor, I was wrong. The fact that you're still alive to make this call means you haven't made a fatal mistake yet, Ryoko says, praising Koji in her own way. Whether he is comforted or not is up to him. Anyway, don't screw her up this time. Do nothing until I return. What we're dealing with here isn't going down easy. With her understanding of Seiya deepening by the hour, Ryoko is able to make this declaration with new confidence. For Minori already knows I'm alive. I didn't tell him who rescued me, but he's definitely on guard. I see. Koji's actions were rash, but there's no point regretting them now. The more proactive approach would be to use the pressure that he's placed on Fuminori. Ryoko's involvement is still a secret. That makes her a wild card. Depending on how she plays it, this advantage could be decisive. Have you found anything? Not yet. Not enough yet, Ryoko answers, glancing sidelong at the loose leaf pages still scattered across the table. Let's see. I'll wrap this up by evening and return to Tokyo around midnight. You stay out of trouble until then, got it? Yes. The lack of emotion in Koji's voice is actually reassuring to Ryoko. He's a machine now, able to do whatever it takes to accomplish a single goal. The extermination of Sakisuka from Minori. Oop. He's even willing to accept help from Ryoko, whose principles hardly mesh with his. A praiseworthy change indeed. Oop. After Ryoko hangs up, she gloomily counts the stacks of loose leaf that still need to be restored. There's no time left. She'll only be able to get the general picture. If she has to go into battle without only fragmentary knowledge, then there's one thing that she absolutely must decipher: Ogi's biological reports, which should contain information on the strengths and weaknesses of the organism called Seiya. All she can do now is pray for luck as she dives back into the mounds of paper. Uh-oh. Well, that's pretty good, at least. Today was the first time I've driven since my accident last summer. Okay, well, see, I already read all this in the other video, in the other video, so I'm gonna skip through this and, like, probably try to do my best to get to the battle, the fight. Oh. The hands of his watch moved with agonizing slowness, as though counting down to the end of the world. In the hours since contacting Ryoko, Koji went back to his apartment, showered, changed clothes, and even had his first full meal in days. He wanted to take a nap, knowing that he needed the rest. But no matter how hard he tried, sleep never came. Forcing himself to relax only made his nerves colder and sharper. Oh wow, so he's actually waiting for her. He didn't just call her. Okay. Wow. Damn, that's cool. I love city lights, man. Koji watches the city for hours. It feels unreachably distant, like reading the obituary of someone who you loved long ago. His phone rings at 8 p.m. It's Ryoko. Their conversation is short. She hangs up as soon as they decide where to meet. And so ends Tono Koji's final night of peace. Yep. Ryoko arrives at the diner at 1 a.m., 1 hour later than agreed upon. She has a heavy she has a heavy-looking duffel bag under her arm. Koji doesn't feel like asking for what the bulges represent. Sorry, I had a lot to get together. Ryoko doesn't sound at all apologetic, but Koji decides to just nod expressionlessly. Oh. So did you find what you were looking for? Koji asks bluntly while sipping dutifully from his third cup of watery, tasteless coffee. I'd like to think I didn't make you wait for nothing at least, though I'm still not sure of anything. I think Fuminori is under a lot of stress. I've left him hanging for a day since I told him I'd call. Do you really think you have him on edge? His reaction to the name Seiya was very clear. Ryoko pauses, perhaps needing time to decide how best to explain. Until then, she continues, choosing her words carefully. I was sleeping with the machete next to my bed. I couldn't stand being alone at night, you see. I needed to know that no matter what horrors the world might hold, I still had some power against the madness. I needed a weapon I could count on. Koji doesn't know what to say. He's amazed, impressed, even, that someone with such a serious case of delusional paranoia could function as one of the T University's top doctors. It didn't work though. My nightmares kept on getting worse. A machete just wasn't enough to let me sleep peacefully. That's when I stole my father's gun. By cutting the barrel down with like this, the shot spreads over a wide area and causes more damage. I hear that even in America, carrying a sawed-off shotgun is a crime. But with this gun sitting in the back of my closet, I was finally able to sleep. One night out of 3, that is. At this point, Ryoko seems to have gotten everything off her chest, smiling like someone who just finished a hard job, she adds. A gun's a great thing to have, you know. It really is. You can use it to blow your enemies away. And if that doesn't work, you can always stick it in your mouth and pull the trigger. Oh, Jesus. Doctor, you need help. Thanks for the honest opinion. You won't be able to talk like that for much longer, though. Not if you go any further. Koji is already doubtful that meeting with Ryoko was the right thing to do. The one thing that he and Ryoko have in common is an unwillingness to leave Fuminori to the proper authorities. If you're telling me to leave this to you, Koji says with unfathomable determination, then please give me some reason to trust you. Prove to me there's a reason for you to be so obsessed with Ogai. Show me what he did. So you're determined to go all the way, huh? Oh well. Ryoko smirks and shakes her head ruefully, but puts up no further resistance. She pulls a stack of paper from her bag and hands it to Koji. The loose-leaf sheets are bound with string. After you read one line, it continues on the same line for the next page. Anyway, just skim it. As directed, Koji looks through the handwritten pages and gives up after less than 3 minutes. Is this a draft from a horror novel or something? I didn't think Ogai had such childish hobbies. Koji deliberately scoffs at the document, doing everything he can to show contempt for what he just read. At the same time, he tries to desperately not to remember the mountain of bones in Ogai's bathtub and the undeniable smell permeating Fuminori's house. The specimens that Ogai brought to the hospital 1 year ago were just as unbelievable, Ryoko says, coldly ignoring Koji's disdain. Judging by the equipment he was trying to use, he meant to treat his experiment as a P3 level biohazard. To be honest, even that might not have been sufficient for what he was dealing with. We should have evacuated the nearby civilians, but the big shots did their thing and made the whole mess disappear. In exchange, we were left with the task of exterminating every single rat on campus, including the things that used to be rats. What the what? In the end, everyone gave up trying to explain what had happened. No one could figure out where his materials had come from, or what they were. In retrospect, they did the wise thing. They knew how to keep the line between reality and fantasy where it should be. I, unfortunately, was not so wise. Ryoko pauses for a moment, then grins with self-disdain and maniacal that it strikes Koji like a blow. I searched everywhere for Ogai, flushed him out, and finally learned what he'd been doing. I found out the people he'd been dealing with and who'd encouraged him to perform his experiments. That's when I started sleeping with Machete. I learned just how absurd, how hollow, how worthless our precious reason is. As though fleeing from the quiet insanity that he keeps glimpsing in Ryoko, Koji finds himself paging through the loose leaf in his hands. He reads a line at random. The organism's flesh is not fibrous, but reticulated. Okay. Put simply, it is an extremely tough substance that expands and contracts not in one direction, but in all directions. This means that slashing and piercing damage has very little effect. Since the flesh can contract in any direction freely, any wound will be sealed instantly. It's nonsense. What else can it be? If he lets himself believe it, then everything else, all the logical rules that define the world, will be rendered meaningless. Do you believe what's in this, doctor? I lost any reason to doubt it a long time ago. Ryoko reaches into her duffel bag again, this time removing a stainless steel thermos that looks able to hold about 500 cc's of liquid. Okay, this is the secret weapon that will let us defeat Seiya. It was a pain to get, but it should work with like a charm. What is it, acid? I can't take this anymore, Koji snaps, no longer able to disguise his frustration. I don't care what Seiya is. All I care about is killing for Minori. I can't leave this to you. I see. Now that she's given up on persuading him, her assist is swift and cold. At this moment, Koji's fate has likely ceased to matter to her. Okay. Alright then, you do everything you can to take Sakisuka down. I'll take advantage of the opening you create. I won't get in your way, and I'll even take care of things when you screw up. Despite the determination in her voice, Koji can't bring himself to trust this paranoid doctor completely. Do you have a reason to kill for Minori? I like things neat and tidy. I can't stand people like him who lurk outside of the world. They're like cockroaches in your bedroom. Can you sleep with them skulking underneath your pillow? The moment I find one, I kill it and stamp out all trace of its existence. I have to, for the sake of my mental well-being. Okay, let's move on in for the checkmate. Go ahead and call Sakisuka out. Koji nods, pulls out his cell phone, and calls his friend for what will probably be the last time. The call goes too quickly, Fuminori must have been waiting for it. Sorry to keep you waiting, Fuminori. I finished my preparations. Koji, where are you? Fuminori must have been quite anxious to hear from Koji. His voice is hard and completely emotionless. Let's just say I'm right behind you. Koji can't help but smile at Fuminori's disappointment. Perhaps Maruko's maniacal sadism has rubbed off on him. Well, have you decided to let Tsukuba go? Yeah, I suppose I have no choice. He's lying, Koji thinks, remembering the contents of Fuminori's refrigerator. Just what part of Yo did you eat, huh? Did you carve the poor girl up like a pig? Bring your evidence along with all the files you've gathered. When I've satisfied that they're the real thing, I'll hand Yo over. Fine. Where? First, come to Y Station on O Line. When I'm sure that you're alone, I'll tell you the exact location. You're being awfully careful. No tricks. You have 45 minutes. Fuminori hangs up without waiting for Koji's response. He won't tell me his location until he's sure I'm alone. Not bad for a medical student. I'm impressed. Ryoko's praise sounds serious, drawing a glare from Koji. Well, I'll leave my car here. Is your trunk big enough for me to fit inside? Yeah, but are you serious? You've seen too many movies. This adventure is more dangerous than anything you've seen in a movie. With those bold words, Ryoko grabs her duffel bag and rises from her seat. Weren't you the one who chose to meet here? Yeah, why? Take responsibility for the coffee, she says, and tosses him the check. Ha! His phone starts ringing almost immediately. He doesn't need to check who it's from. I'm here. Yeah, I heard you. Welcome to my new home. Fuminori is nearby, close enough to hear the sound of the engine. A shiver of excitement shoots up Koji's spine. Come inside, Yo's waiting. Fuminori hangs up without another word. After grabbing his new flashlight from the glove compartment and checking that the revolver is still in his pocket, Koji opens the door, making sure to pop the trunk at exactly the same time. Ryoko shouldn't need any more explanation than that. Realizing that the interior roof light will stay on and broadcast the trunk and that the trunk isn't closed, Koji quickly unscrews the bulb, then gets out of the car and deliberately slams the driver's side door hard. Which is when something wraps itself around his left ankle. What? The instant Koji panics at the unexpected sensation, something soft, and tries to swing the pipe at the unseen enemy behind him, but his right hand too is seized by the He wasn't able to feel it through his pants, but now his blood turns into ice as cold from the station. Wrapped uncovered. The monster's still alive? That's it, Seiya. Fuminori says encouragingly. Yep. Seiya. This monster is Seiya. Struggles desperately to free his limbs, kick his limb. More tentacles swarm over his body, stealing his freedom of movement. Giving Koji half mad, just imagining the creature's appearance is enough to send him into mildest panic. His scream is suddenly cut off as the slimy approach seizes his throat. It's getting tighter. Koji is certain that this is the end, but just as his vision begins to dim, an explosion brings him back to his senses.
Right.
With a horrifying inhuman scream, the creature releases Koji and retracts its tentacles. The first thing he sees after regaining his mobility is Ryoko running down the hall with a smoking shotgun in one hand and a silver tube in the other. Doctor! Ryoko responds by tossing him the tube. Though still lying on the floor, he manages to snatch it out of the air. It's the thermals she showed him at the restaurant, the one she called her secret weapon. Pour it on that thing, Ryoko shouts to Koji. At the same time, she aims her gun at Fuminori, who is still on his knees 5 paces away. The double-barrel shotgun has one shot loaded. The monster that attacked Koji is withering in agony. It hasn't yet recovered from Ryoko's shot, but he's already seen the bullets aren't enough to kill these creatures. Now is his only chance. What are you doing? Fuminori growls, gritting his teeth against the pain of his broken ribs. Forcing himself to be calm, Koji stands and carefully unscrews the lid of the thermals. There's no question in his mind that something extremely potent is inside. As soon as unsealed, a thick white mist pours out of the thermos and surrounds and the surrounding air turns freezing cold. Instantly guessing what's inside, Koji lobes the thermos and at the pile of the flesh convulsing on the ground. The thermos sails through the air, spewing white fog. Like a baptismal front showers is liquid contents upon the hellish creature.
Die!
Its scream this time is incomprehensible to before. The monster's thrashel is in agony. Withered in white smoke, its screams are joined by Raku's cackling. Oh shit, she's going crazy. That's minus 197 degrees, you fucking monster. How's it feel? Cold? Hot? Not so tough now, are you? Perhaps the joy of vanquishing her nightmare was worth the last remnants of her sanity. The manic glee blazing in her eyes can belong only to a shattered mind. Monsters, I'll kill you! Fuminori staggers to his feet, roaring black curses. His rage seems to have drowned out the pain of his broken ribs. Rauko is not one to underestimate the threat posed by his axe. Her mad laughter fades away, leaving only a cold smile as she pulls the trigger. With a shot burst of dark flame, Rauko's gun sputters and dies. Rauko is not an expert on firearms. It's never occurred to her that the shotgun shells need proper storage, and besides, she always expected that any situation where her gun would be necessary would also be one that she would not survive. Cursing in anger and dismay, Rauko breaks the shotgun open and awkwardly pulls the dud out. Meanwhile, Fuminori stalks toward her like a vengeful demon, the head of his axe screeching as it drags along the floor. I have to stop him. Koji tries to charge Fuminori but only succeeds at sending himself sprawling. One of his shoes is stuck on the floor, frozen by the liquid nitrogen. As Rauko fumbles in her pocket for the new shell, Fuminori closes distance and raises his axe in both hands. Damn! Koji curses and rips his shoe free from the frozen concrete, but he knows that he'll never make it in time. Rauko thrusts in a new shell into the chamber of her shotgun and snaps it closed, then looks up to find her target. Fuminori is right before her, too close to evade, and his axe is already crashing down from the wind howling in his wake. Stop! The sounds of bone shattering, tendons snapping, and flesh tearing blend together in foul harmony. Gah! The thick blade enters through Rauko's left shoulder, plowing through her collarbone and shoulder blade, smashing several ribs and propping her lung like a balloon before stopping in the center of her chest. Her expression frozen in shock by the impact, she sprays a geyser of blood from her mouth. She should have died instantly, but through some unimaginable force of will, Rauko clings to life for a few seconds more. Grinning through bloodstained lips, she raises her shotgun. Not to the front, but to the side. Beyond the barrel of her gun, wearing the 77 degree Kelvin mist like a white cloak of death, is wiggling Seiya. No! Fuminori's scream vanishes into the roar of the shotgun. The destruction is absolute. The impact of the shotgun pellets obliterates the half of Seiya's body that fell prey to the liquid nitrogen. The frozen particles of Seiya's shattered flesh drift to the floor like snow. Even the creature's special biology is insignificant to seal a wound of this size. From the opening pour its internal organs, a tide of liquid slime and fat Wu's color is far too foul to belong to any living creature. The monster convulses, wailing in a weak, pitiful voice. Seiya. With his axe still buried in Rauko's body, Fuminori stares at the dying creature, his expression utterly devoid of emotion. Koji grabs his pipe and prepares to attack Fuminori from behind, but freezes when he sees the emptiness on the face of the man he hated. Fuminori pulls his axe out of Rauko's corpses, then looks at Koji with glazed eyes. There is no recognition in them, nor hate, nor rage. When Koji meets Fuminori's blank stare, he knows there is nothing left in him to kill. Fuminori grips the axe closer to its head and raises its high. The blade toward and raises the blade. Wait, what? Fuminori grabs the axe closer to its head and raises it high. The blade toward his face. Koji doesn't know whether he should interfere or even if he wanted to. What could he say to stop Fuminori? Koji pulls his head back slowly, then drives his face right into the blade of the axe like a spring-loaded toy. Crunch! His skull caves in with a dull, wet sound, and a spray of blood catches Koji in the face. Despite Fuminori's utter lack of hesitation, his first attempt at suicide succeeds only in transforming his face into a hash of crimson. Fuminori pulls his head back one more time, even slower than before. Then, with every ounce of strength left in his body, he slams it into the blood-stained axe. The sound is wetter than before. Fuminori's body goes limp, then tumbles face first to the floor. Jesus, what the hell? Who commits suicide by slamming their face against an axe? Jesus. Man. Oh, I guess that's one way to go. Shit. Damn. Koji stares at the two mangled corpses for a while. He feels completely left behind, like he can't remember why he's standing in this place with a steel pipe in his hand. The stale air filling the ruined building becomes choked with the stench of blood, and the crimson puddles gradually spread across the snow-covered floor. Yet the tranquility of the scene makes it seem like a painting. A soft, slimy sound breaks the silence. Koji looks at the mortally wounded monster. The creature is on death's door, but even so it moves, slowly, feebly. It drags its broken body through the sea of blood. It's coming for Fuminori. Koji had forgotten his anger, but now it comes surging back at full force. Die. He growls and stabs the monster with the end of his pipe. It convulses in agony, but keeps crawling towards Fuminori. Koji explodes into a frenzy of rage. Die, you monster! Just die already! Jesus Christ. I can honestly say right now I don't like this ending, cause yeah, I'll tell you guys after I finish this. Hold on. Again and again, he smashes the helpless flesh beast with his pipe. Something tells him that if he does not stop it here, he will truly have lost. The monster, however, never succumbs. It struggles beneath his blows until it finally reaches Fuminori's corpse. Don't touch him! Don't touch him, damn you! What gives you the right? Koji keeps swinging his fury undoubted even as tears start to pull in his eyes. The monster's slime flies through the air, joining with the blood already covering his face. The creature extends one thin, trembling tentacle to touch Fuminori's shoulder, then lovingly caresses his blood-stained cheek. And then it stops moving. Even in its final moments, the monster would not let Fuminori go. It died joining with him. At last, Koji knows that the world he loved is gone forever. Oh man, that's fucking terrible. That's horrible. That's so sad. Oh shit, what the fuck? Hey, Omi says enthusiastically, then the exposed bones of her face clattering. Why don't we go somewhere we can skate from for this year's ski trip? What the what? What's going on? Oh, I think he might be dreaming. Chunks of her body are missing, as though something's been nibbling on her. It makes her look a lot thinner. She's been worried about her weight recently, but now she shouldn't need to diet. After all, you're one of us now. Oh shit. Oh, of course. Koji looks down and is satisfied to see wiggling tentacles where his arms and legs should be. When he opens his eyes, his mattress and pillow are soaked in sweat. It's always the same nightmare. He doesn't know how many times he's had it, but at least he's not leaping out of bed screaming anymore. He sits up, clenching his throbbing head. What is going on? Why are we still doing this? Koji wanders sleepily into the den, where yet another old friend is waiting for him. You look like hell. Doctor, you're here too? Rauko's chopped up corpse is sitting in his dining table, looking at as deathly pale as ever as she sips coffee from a mug. Oh, so he's having crazy delusional. He's pretty much crazy now. He's seeing things. That's what's going on. Hey doctor, let's give the diner coffee a rest. If you want, I'll put on a new pot of. When Koji turns around halfway through his sentence, he realizes that the room is empty, but for the silence of the night. And so, Koji returns to the world of the sane. He lights his first cigarette of the night and takes a deep drag. While sitting alone in his den, puffing on his smoke, he stares at the gun in his hand. He knows just how precious a cliff he's standing on. The final line of which Rauko spoke is now one step behind him. Koji no longer has anything to protect his soul. Now that Ogai Moshihiko fantasies and Tono Rauko's delusions have all become tangible horrors, he knows what insanity and despair truly are. Back in the real world, Sakisaka Fuminori is wanted for several gruesome murders. It didn't take long for someone to discover the stockpiles of human meat in the empty Sakisaka and Suzumi homes. In the two refrigerators were found the remains of Suzumi Yosuke, his wife and daughter, and Takahata Omi. They found the clothes and other effects of Tsukuba Yo, but were unable to locate any trace of her among the various body parts. A fact that made Koji's nightmare all the more vivid. Dr. Tambo Rauko of the T University Hospital vanished mysteriously around the same time. Because she was Fuminori's chief physician, the police have been investigating her connection to his crimes. As for the two corpses secretly buried in the backyard of a certain ruin, they'll probably never be found, and the incident will become just another cold case. If I were in Koji's position, I would have burned that whole house down. To be honest, I wouldn't have even buried their bodies. I would have just burned everything. That's just me. That's just me speaking. So yeah. Koji alone knows what really happened. He has no intention of revealing it, not now and not ever. Ogai's writings were not nonsense, which means that everything else was. What fool was it who said that men are the lords of creation? Those who can believe in paltry things like human wisdom and valor are those lucky innocents who have not looked into the abyss. Koji can no longer share them in their blessed ignorance. He knows he has been defiled by the insanity called truth, and he will never believe again. If he has been poisoned, as Rauko's ghost said, then the poison is none other than the truth itself. Just as pure oxygen is harmful to the body, the naked truth has the power to destroy man's minds. Only by dilating it with lies and taking it in small doses can humans maintain a healthy soul. No matter what horrors the world might hold, words once spoken by the living, Tenbo Rauko passes through Koji's mind. I still had some power against the madness. That, without a doubt, was the comfort of that she kept hidden in her bosom. The only thing that allowed her to face her dreams each night. Koji has taken his predecessor's lessons to heart. He's prepared for anything. One bullet is always behind the bathroom mirror, promising him salvation. Oh, is that it? Hey, okay. Alright, now then. What I wanted to talk to you guys about, now that this is over, is, okay, well, first let me say why I think that, why I didn't like this ending right here. The reason why I didn't like this ending is because, at the end of the day, this is more of a love story than a horror story. Because at the end of the day, it was like forbidden love between, Fuminori and Seiya. And at the end of the day, you can't help but kind of root for them, you know, like the hope they make it out. At the same time, you know, Seiya is some type of creature that will probably end up ruining humanity. Like we saw in the other one, Seiya is a creature that will end up ruining humanity. And yeah, and so on and so forth. So at the end of the day, she couldn't really live. I mean, maybe she could have if she didn't really try to take over or freaking take over humanity. It's still kind of sad to see, you know? Even though it's kind of reassuring, it's still kind of sad to see them, Fuminori and Seiya end up dying together. That was really sad. Anyways, though. So yeah, I didn't really like that ending. I really enjoyed the other ending a lot more, even though humanity ends up getting pretty much extinct and through hell. So yeah, that's just me. Anyways, the important thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is that the reason why I haven't really been uploading again lately, as of right now, my main priority is working on a novel. I'm working on a novel, and it's like it's my main priority right now. I've been working on it for this past since before like December, or like since my last upload. I've been working on it, and so yeah, I plan on when I'm finished with it, I plan on posting when I finish with it. I plan on posting on Amazon Prime or like the Amazon Kindle, whatever. Amazon, in order to post it has to be 150 pages, and so on and so forth. And right now I'm like halfway through my novel, so yeah. I don't know. I'll let you guys know if it's when it's released, and if you guys want to read it, you can read it. If not, it's whatever. But yeah, that's why I haven't really been uploading, because my novel is my top priority as of the moment. Because I want to see if I can, you know, maybe make a career out of that. Because I'm not making a career out of YouTube. That'll take way too long, and with the whole demonetization thing going on, it'll just be a whole mess. But at the end of the day, YouTube is more of a hobby for me. And the reason why I do this is because of you guys. I don't do this for anything else. I do it for you guys, and only you guys only. And I will. Even if I do make it big on YouTube, I will continue to do this only for you guys. Like no matter what. I'll probably upload like maybe 30-second, like little 30-second clips every now and then, you know, just to post something, and also because I mean I have fun posting 30-second clips too. So thanks to you of guys who stay subscribed, who subscribe right now and stay subscribed, and those of you who have been subscribed to me for a while now and have stayed subscribed. I really thank you guys for waiting. I'm not, like I said, I'm not done with YouTube. I just got some stuff going on because, you know, YouTube isn't making me money, and you know, you kind of need money to survive in this world. So yeah. But anyways, guys, thank you for staying subscribed. Thank you for waiting, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.
You stole my heart of gold after my silver soul. Can you dig any